Hello Python programmers. So this is the video 4th of our machine learning with Python video series, and in the previous video we have discussed that what are the packages that we need in our machine learning journey. So from now we are gonna discuss each of those packages, and the first package on our list is Pandas. So I'm gonna work on Jupyter Notebook, and I will also create a tutorial for you to how to download Jupyter Notebook and how to work on this. If the video is uploaded on the time you are watching this video, the link will be below, and if not, I'll provide some other creators video that I think is good for you, so that you can just code along with me. I'm having a really bad cold, so if I sneeze in between, it's not a part of the video, okay? So first of all, let's create a machine learning. Okay, so let's start off with pandas. Now, as I have already explained you in the previous video, pandas is a very efficient library which is used to manipulate, examine and clean our tabular data. Mostly the data provided to us are in the form of rows and columns, and we use pandas to just examine that what type of data it is and what algorithm we have to use for this type of data. So let's start off by simply importing our data set. Now I have downloaded one dataset for you. It is cars.csv, which will have the information of some of the cars, like the horsepower, the acceleration. So I'll just show you that how this database will look. So our first task is to import our database. So we will import NumPy first. NumPy is very much required because, as you know, all the data is converted into a NumPy string, a NumPy array. We'll create a shorthand for this, np. Then we'll import our pandas library, import pandas as pd. You will see this notation a lot because most of the developers use this notation only. Now we are going to create a data frame. Now there are two types of containers that pandas used. First is series, which is very rarely used because series resembles to a dictionary, and usually the data provided to us is having multiple columns, so series is not useful there. Generally we use data frames, and this is what I'm gonna show you here. I just told you about series because you should know as it exists. Okay, so we have created a variable called df, so we'll simply write read.csv. now if you have a JSON file, write read.json. then you can read a text file also. You can just go to your browser and just write pandas read underscore json, and the documentation will come as your first search result. Just open that and you will find all the parameters there. So I'm just showing the example of CSV because this is the most commonly used file for providing the data. So we'll write our file name. I guess this is what the file name is, cars.csv. I'll provide the CSV in the GitHub repository. The link will be below. And delimiter. Now let me first show you that how the data will look if we haven't defined the delimiter. Okay, so we'll write df.head. if you want to see the first 5 entries of your database, then you will write head here. Let me execute this and show you what I want to show, then I will explain you each of these lines here. Okay, so there you can see that we are seeing our database here, but it's not that great looking. Now let's open this database in a Excel sheet and see how our database actually looks. So there you can see this is our database, and here you can see that each entry is separated by just a second, is separated by a semicolon. So if you want to tell Pandas that I want to differentiate each column, then the keyword here will be this semicolon. So let me explain you what I mean here. So if you want to differentiate it and create a more prettier looking table, so we'll simply write telemeter. I guess this is how it's pronounced, and then we'll write that keyword here. For us it's semicolon. So I'll just run this, and there you can see it's a more prettier looking database here. So let me explain you these 4 lines. First of all, we have imported our 2 required libraries with our shorthand, NumPy as NP and Pandas as PD. Then we have created a data frame. So if I simply write the type of this to see that what is the data type, so it is a Pandas data frame. So this is the data type. So we have created a data type here, and the value which is stored in this here is the data from the cars.csv, and then we are writing here df.head to get the first 5 of our database. Now if I only write df, then it will show the whole database here. There you can see it is having 406 columns, rows. Okay, so we'll write head only here, and you can also specify that how many columns rows you want to see. You can write df.head 10, so it will show you 10 here. If you want to see 20, then you will write 20 here. Okay, and this was to see the first 20 or the first 10. The head is on the upper half of the database. If you want to see the lower half, then you will simply write df.tail, simple notation, head from the top, tail from the bottom. Let's just run df.tail, and there you can see the bottom ones are displayed, the bottom 5. If we write 10 here, then the last 10 will be displayed here. Okay, so I don't think that you will be confused in this simple thing, so let's move on. I am not gonna explain you the whole Pandas because this is beyond this video scope, because there are many commands and many parameters in like, if you search read.csv documentation, then you will find that there are more than 10 to 20 parameters that can be provided in read CSV. So it's beyond the scope of this video to explain each of those parameters. I'm making this video as short as possible so that it's very accurate for only those who want to learn machine learning. So these are the commands which you're gonna use for machine learning only. Okay, now if you want to see that what is the shape, because this is what we are doing here, we are examining our database to see that what our database actually is, what are its properties. And this is not actually there won't be these parentheses. Okay, so let's run this. So there you can see we are having 407 rows and 9 columns. So if you write df.size, which will simply just multiply 407 into 9, that is 3663, that this is the number of cells present in our database. Now if you want to know that what are the columns present in your database. So you will simply write df.columns, and let's run this. And there you can see these are the columns: car, mpg, cylinders, displacement, horsepower, weight, acceleration, model, and origin. Okay, now let's say that I want to see only the values which are present in a specific column. Like I want to see only the first 5 car names. Okay, so what I will do here is I will select the column, let's say car. I will copy paste to avoid any spelling mistake. I know this is a small 3 alphabet word, but still capital and small alphabet error can occur. So we will simply write head here and then just run this. So there you can see these are the 5 values. You can write tail here to get the bottom 10. You can write the specific value like 10, 20, 30 to get the desired number of entries that you want. You can even select multiple columns here. Like you also want to select the cylinders. You want to know the car names as well as the cylinder names. So just simply run this one, and we are having an error because this should be a list of list. Okay, I've done a mistake here. Okay, so now there you can see we are having the first 10 values of our car and cylinder. These silly mistakes happens a lot. Okay, and with me it's more likely to happen, these mistakes. Okay, so if you want to sort down your database with reference to a selected row, like I want to sort down my database on the basis of number of cylinders they are having, so what I will simply do is I will write df.sort values. Now there you can see that how handy our pandas library is to just manipulate our database. Sort values, and actually these brackets will be used here, and let's say we want to sort down for our cylinders, so I'll write the cylinders here, and we want to get the head of the first 5, sorry. So they can see they are sorted according to the cylinders. As I have told you, there can be many parameters for the sort class also, so you can just Google that to get, but this is the basic that you should know. Now what if you want to know that how many possible values are present there and what is the degree or the frequency of that value present in your database? So we'll create a variable degree, and then we'll simply do, we want to know that how many types of cylinders are there in our whole database. So we'll write this, and we'll use value count. Value counts, it should be counts here. Make sure that you are writing the spellings correct, and Python is case sensitive. So let's print out our degree variable. Okay, so there you can see there are 207 4 cylinder cars, 108 8 cylinder cars, 84 6 cylinders car, 4 3 cylinders car, and 3 1 cylinders car. Okay, so now what if you want to plot a bar diagram for this? You want to visually see that what are the types of cylinders present in our database. So you will simply do is degree is our variable dot plot, and the type of our visual representation is, let's say, bar chart. This should be inside inverted commas. Let's run this, and matplotlib is running. And oh, actually we haven't included the subplot for this, so let's quickly write one line, because we want to display our chart in our same notebook. So we'll write matplotlib inline. Now let's run this, and there you can see our beautiful looking bar chart, which is showing that what types of cylinders are having what frequency. Now, one of the most important command of Pandas library is iloc, which is used for slicing. So let me show you how this works. Let's say that you want to display only from the row 2, 5 and column 0 to 4. So let me explain you what I mean here. Where is our database? Yeah, there's our database. So you want to see only the first 1, 2, 3 values, and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So what we'll simply do here is we'll write the indexing here. First is our rows. Let's say that we want to see from 2 to 5. So you'll write 2 to 5 here, then a comma, then let's say we want to see from 1 to 4. Okay, let's run this, and there you can see. You can just play along with this value to understand more clearly how this works. My task was to introduce you to this command. Now the Pandas library gives you indexing. There you can see that this bold 0, 1, 2, 3 is the indexing of your row. Now what if you want to index your database with a row given, like you want to index your database with this car column? So what you will simply do is you will write df.set. We are setting the index of this database. Set index to be our car database, our car column. So let's run this, and we are having an error because there should be an equal to sign here. What an idiot. Now again having an error. Now these brackets won't be used here. Let's run this. Okay, now let's write df.head to see if everything works perfectly. And this is showing an error because we are repeating this cell again, and the car is already the index. So we'll write def.head in a separate cell. So there you can see the car is our index. This was showing an error because car was already the index, and we were trying to execute this command again, so it was showing an error. Okay, so this is it for this video. I tried my best to include only those commands which are very much required for machine learning journey. As we move ahead, we will encounter a few small commands also, which I will explain you then and there, but it's useless to explain here because the motto of my channel is to understand the concept with practical projects or practical implementation, I have only included those commands which are required for you to get started with pandas. As we move ahead, you will feel a more stronger and more confident on these libraries. So this is it for this video, and I hope you like it, and I'll meet you in my next lecture. Bye bye.